So, following on from my last presentation about what courses I've done, I have been asked by a few people to sort of help them explain what courses there are specifically for dinghy sailors and then beyond that. So if we look here, this is just my desktop, and on the left here I've got the RYA website, which has been recently updated, and on the right here I've got a PDF that I've had for a year now, but it's still relevant, so I have checked that this is still relevant. The reason I've got this PDF up here is because I think this shows the sort of the pathways you can take a lot better. So to begin with, if we come over to the website, this is the home page. You need to click on courses, I believe, and then if you scroll, well, if you look at this page, you can see the RYA do all kinds of stuff like windsurfing. Here's the day skipper that I'm trying to do at the moment, powerboat level 2 handling, marine radio, or as I described it, the VHF radio course. And here's actually your essential navigation and seamanship. But if you go down the bottom here, select small boat sailing. I used to refer to this as dinghies, but now it's small boat. And click on that. And you'll actually get all the courses here as well. So we're not going to go into multi-hull. That's, you know, pretty specialist course. And then there is keel boat, which I'll come on to in a minute. We're going to click on the dinghy courses, and then you'll now see, if we scroll down, these courses now marry up to here. So first and foremost, what I would say, if you're an adult, just start with these level 1, level 2 and level 3. If you're a youth, i.e., I think the definition of youth is about this age here, young children. You know, I think, you know, they break the course down a little bit more. I think with younger children, you don't want to frighten them, whereas adults are a little less timid. I'm not going to talk about the youth courses specifically, but as you can see, if you're a youth, you do these courses. If you're an adult, then do these courses. You can see there, we start with level 1, start to sail. We then go on to level 2 and level 3. At level 2, you know, their guide is to say you can access the racing courses, or go on to level 3 better sailing, and then that gives you access to these more advanced courses. So if we go to the next page here, you get a bit more of a description. What I'll do, I'll take some shots or get a link to this PDF and put it into the course notes, into the YouTube video notes. But you'll see there's a basic description just here of what the levels of sailing are, and also the minimum duration these take. These courses, you have to find a dinghy club or training centre. I know Lake Barla, a sailing club, they do these courses, and you know, you just go and you do them. They're all practical, and you just get on and do it. The advanced courses cover, you know, more advanced skills, seamanship skills. So, you know, this looks like it's launching and recovering, but in different circumstances. Stopping the boat, reducing sail, recovering a man overboard, anchoring, things like that. Day sailing, you know, preparing and planning for a daily cruise, pilotage, decision making, including adverse conditions. So this is starting to talk about, you know, sea cruising. Here, sailing with spinnakers. I mean, spinnakers are a whole world of their own, and there's a course here dedicated to that. You know, that would be something, for instance, that I would think, you know, I would get great benefit out of, and maybe I should look for, you know, doing that course for a day or two. And then here, you've got your racing courses. You know, racing is a whole kettle of fish. You find that, you know, you're into racing or into cruising. You know, I'm into cruising. I'd love to have a little race. You do learn a heck of a lot racing, but there's a lot to learn with racing, like, you know, the course, the rules. You do have to brush up on who has rights of way, things like that. But that will take you through, if you go back up here, that will take you through your racing courses. And then performance sailing, you know, just this is coaching to improve your sailing, primarily in a 2-person boat with spinnakers. You know, this is all about trimming, getting the most out your boat, you know, and often those sorts of courses, the instructor will sort of help pick and choose a certain subject you'd like to improve upon. So that's sort of the RYA Dinghy course structure. What you can then do, if we click back on here, there are multi-hull courses. So obviously sailing a catamaran, you know, will need, you know, a set of skills that are, you know, overlapping, but obviously there'll be different skills to be able to, you know, sail a multi-hull. And then also then you can go on to keel boats. So keel boats, as far as I can tell with the RYA, these are boats that are more, you know, bigger and have keels. Now, I would put my Drascum lugger perhaps in that category. I mean, this is a picture of I don't know what that boat is, but you can see it's clearly a larger dinghy. I think it's an RS Fever or RS 200 maybe, or something like that. And this is the same course as over here, but for keel boat. So you could do your dinghy courses, go on to your keel boat course, or you could just do a keel boat course. That's more like what I would call a keel boat, you know, something a little bit more yachty, but perhaps not quite a yacht. You know, they still perhaps behave a lot more like a dinghy than a yacht. So, you know, so those are the sort of courses, you know, you would perhaps want to do if courses is something you want to do. If we go back to courses, scroll back down to the bottom here. Oh, too fast. Where are we? Let's go back up. Here we are. You can then, you know, go into anything you want to. They even do inland waterways, things like that, personal watercraft training. So, you know, if you want to get a little bit of certification on jet skis, power boating, you know, boat handling skills. I've done my powerboat level 2. It's probably the best course I've done so far. It was just overwhelmingly well delivered, but also just I learnt so much and had so much fun doing it too. Then, if you're interested in bigger boats, well, these are the two kind of course structures you'd go to. So you've got motor cruising and you've got sail cruising. So let's just go into the sail cruising one. And this is where you would find, you know, again, you've got your start sailing, start yachting, basic skills, and then you would go on to your competent crew, day skipper and coastal skipper. So I know how to sail now, but I'd like to start looking at how to sail in the sea. And part of that is understanding how a bigger boat works. This was what I mentioned in my last video, the competent crew, which is basically you become part of a crew on a boat. Let me just go into here. I think it's a 5-day course. You know, and you basically form the crew and you just learn and you take on multiple roles in that. The day skipper, you do that as part of a theory and a practical, and you know, you become, if you get your day skipper qualification, it actually allows you to, you know, be, you know, it gives you a certification and a license to even hire yachts. And then coastal skipper is taking this further on. I believe there's more advanced courses as well, you know, for navigation and you know, traveling over oceans, things like that. Oh, here we go. Down here, Yacht Master is the one I was thinking about. So, you know, those are the sorts of routes through the Royal Yachting Association courses you can do. Let's just click back, just go to the motor cruising, and you'll see that if if yachting and sailing is not your bag and you just like the idea of motoring around, which there's absolutely no shame in that. Many lifetime yachtsmen and women of a certain age, or just because they feel like it, will sell their yacht and go for a motor cruiser. You can actually do almost the same courses, but with motor yachting in mind. Obviously, the day skipper for yachting has a heck of a lot of things in it that perhaps aren't relevant to motorboats, and vice versa. I would actually argue the yachting day skipper's probably got most of the day skipper motor in it, because most yachts have a motor, and perhaps the day skipper motor, and in fact the duration for that is 4 days. It probably doesn't have quite as much content, but then there are a lot of things that overlap too: weather, tides, making pilotage and courses and things like that. But you can do the same things in these as well. So I imagine if you pass your day skipper motor theory and practical, you would have access then to hiring something like this if you were to go on holiday, or just felt like hiring a boat like this. It is 2022 with today's fuel prices. I'm looking to sail as much as I can. I'd hate to know how much fuel something like this would use on a daily basis. It's probably frightening how much it would cost to keep one of these things running. You need a little bit of money to do that. But you can see there's another route. You can do your motor cruising. Let's have a quick look at powerboating while we're here. Level 1 powerboating. I went straight in at powerboat level 2 because I've had experience, and you don't need much. You can go to intermediate, advanced. You can then do specific courses like tender operating, safety boat specific courses, which are more about, probably dragging people in and out of boats, supporting races, maybe some, you can do some first aid courses as well, which actually brings me on to these courses ashore. So these are courses, there's the essential navigation course. Oh, day skipper theory. So here's your theory courses. But there's other things like first aid, diesel engine, radar, basic sea survival, offshore personal survival, and these courses tend to be, 1 or 2 days. And I can imagine doing this offshore personal survival course would be a heck of a lot of fun. Whether you'd need to do that, I don't know. Let's have a look at the navigation one while we're at it. Same courses really. And then, actually looks like exactly the same. Here we are, navigation courses. So you can do some navigation courses, although it looks like the day skipper, the essential navigation, and the coastal and yachtmaster cover that off. That's what you do. So brief look at under 16s just to see. I've never looked at this. I'm doing this live. There's just loads of stuff here. If you're younger, things like the Duke of Edinburgh Award, for instance. I know there's a place on Lake Barla that gets involved with that. It's just different ways to access sailing for the young amongst us, just angled differently. And then here's some books as well. So, really good resource, RYA, especially since they've updated their website. There is a section here, look, on racing. They do overlap quite a lot, but they also include things like getting into coaching, people, disabled racing, things like that. Let's look at cruising as well. There's all kinds of stuff, to help you cruise more safely, from safety to sustainability, regulations, things like this. So there's I don't think there's courses in here. I think these are more, it's just content to help you. You need to be a member. What I would say is once you've passed a course, so you do get a discount to join the RYA. So, it's probably well worth joining the RYA when you get to the point you want to join it. I've never joined it, but I do often feel like I maybe should have done. You can also come in here while we're here, and let's go to Wales. you can actually look at country-specific stuff. But also in here you can find a course. So let's just look for an intermediate. Let's look at Dinghy intermediate courses. You can come in here. Let's go for Dinghy level 2 basic skills, and in here you should be able to download a course brochure. That's actually this here. If you scroll down, yeah, it should. Oh, there, that's what I was looking for. Find centres running this. So if we just say Barla, oh, okay, let's say, where's near to Barla? Wrexham, and we will try and find courses. There we go, and you can actually find courses. I know the Welsh quite well. There's a brilliant place here. Pwllheli here is amazing for courses, and here this near Barmouth, Portmadog centres. You can actually see if you click here. This is Lake Barla. So let's come back out. But there's a lot going on in the Menai Strait. And then there's a few really good places here in West Kirby and also Liverpool as well. So you can find out more and go contact these places as well. So that about wraps it up. I hope that's answered some questions people had. If you have any questions, please contact me in the comments, and I'll be only too happy to help. It can be a bit of a minefield, working out what courses you need to do. One last comment I would say is, you don't have to do these courses. You don't need any certifications in the UK to sail or motor your own boat. But then it's up to you, and it's your responsibility to find, whether you feel safe doing that. And I've mentioned in the previous video that if you're on a lake or you're cruising rivers, it's a very different matter to coastal cruising, things like that. So you pick what you want to do. The only other thing I would say is that I've never once done any of these courses and not totally enjoyed them. They're great fun. The practical courses especially, they're amazing fun. And when you're doing your practicals and you've got an instructor and other people on the course with you, you learn so much in those days that you're with those people. So, I find that in sailing, sometimes there's so many people have so many opinions. It's nice to be there and someone actually showing you how to do something and you're actually doing it. So that really, really helps, and you often get that on these courses too. So hope that helps. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video.